Hey everyone, this is basketball loving Dr. NBA. I have an interesting story to tell today. With the height of the hoop around 10 foot in this sport, taller players obviously have the advantage, and the most skilled and talented gathered in the NBA. The average height of the players in this league are around 6'7". And on another note, these long stretched physiques are not just great for basketball, but also have an advantage when it comes to appearances. It may not be noticeable because of the loose uniforms they wear, but when wearing suits in official areas with their unreal body ratio, gives them a hollow effect, making them looking better than usual. So with that in mind, with not just the body ratio but also a handsome face to go with it, I'll be introducing the leader for looks in the NBA. Not just looks, but his name himself is a magnet to women, and he has gotten recognition in the NBA for his skills and achievements as well. And this main character's name is Kevin Love. With the height of 6'10" as a big man, his playing style is quite unique, and because so, there was a time when he quickly passed the records former legends had made before him, and also had great chemistry with superstar LeBron James in the past. We will talk about this individual's life story in this video. In 1988, Kevin Love was born in California, United States, in a beach city called Santa Monica. And at age 1, moved north to Oregon in a city called Lake Oswego and grew up there. And with his father being a former NBA player in the 1970s, he had an easy passageway to basketball. In the midst of that, he did play baseball in the little leagues, but could not get the results he wanted, so he turned his way back to becoming a basketball player. And maybe because of his father's NBA player genes, Love was able to grow faster than most of the other kids. And with having strong basic skills, he transferred to a Lake Oswego high school that was in front of his home, and playing against other schools in Oregon, he destroyed all of them. In his second year, his average was at 25.3 points and 15.4 rebounds, and led his team to the finals out of all the Oregon schools, and had the belief of winning. But unfortunately could not win the championship, and the next season had an average of 28 points and 16.1 rebounds. With better stats than last year, he led the team to the finals again. In that game, he was more composed in the paint zone than ever, and as a result had 24 points and 9 rebounds, showing great performance and winning the championship by a close 2 points. In his senior year, his average was 33.9 points and 18 rebounds, and was one of the best prospects in the States, and headed to a prestigious university, UCLA, and in his first season, in the 07-08 season, he was a starting member. And from a young age, getting points and rebound was something he was confident in, and the university had showed why he was so confident. With his big physique, posting up and giving the occasional explosive three-pointers, he would be key in victories. With the background of team play tactics that the UCLA used in the past games, and meeting a player that could carry the team by himself, they were able to make more offensive plays than ever before. And as a result, in the Pacific 10 Conference tournament that 10 university teams were a part of, they won the championship. And after that, in the top 64, the tournament with all universities, they showed a great result by making it to the top 4, and so being the key player for a year. In the Pacific 10 Conference would get the Player of the Year award, the Rookie of the Year award as well, and leave university right after, and jumped into the 2008 NBA Draft, and he went 5th out of 60 players and was picked by the Memphis Grizzlies. But a trade was made in the process, and he would end up in the Minnesota Timberwolves and start his career there. Being a top prospect, he successfully entered the NBA, and Kevin Love in the preseason entered the Summer League, and playing against rookies he showed his skill traits in the games. And as a result, he was a rebound leader. This momentum followed him to his debut in the 08-09 season, but with the fact he was a bench member and didn't have a lot of play time, he would still get 9th most rebounds in the team while surrounded by veterans and big men, showing great potential as a rookie. And heading into his second season, he would show a more surprising upgrade. He would not just play in the paint zone but expanded his play to the outside and started to slowly get 3-pointers one by one. And his rebounding also got better. His average was 14 points and 11 rebounds. The more surprising thing was, Love wasn't a starting member, but was still 6th overall in rebounds in the league, and so analysts believed that he would become an all-star big man in the future, and Minnesota would entrust Love with their future. And in the next 10-11 season, would reorganize their tactics as Love being the key member, and he was a starting member from there on. And then as soon as that happened, the results of the first 9 games were devastating. With the high hopes for him in the 9 games as a starting member, he would go only 40%, showing inconsistent shooting rates, and lost 7 games. The reason behind that was because of his terrible stamina he had ever since he was a rookie. He was skilled for sure, but he would be gassed out after only running a short while. So the head coach benched him again for 2 years and trained him for his stamina and only that. But the effects weren't showing. A key player usually plays around 35 minutes per game, but Love in 9 games could only play 28 minutes and could not go on. And so Minnesota started to have regrets on entrusting Love with their future. But just then, in the 10th game, there was a historic change of events. On that day, Love played 40 minutes for the first time, a time he could never have played. And plus that, showed various offensive plays and got 31 points and 31 rebounds, showing an amazing performance and leading their team to victory. Doing nearly the impossible and showing those stats, Love became known just like that. Showing that his training was not a waste of time, and from there on, played all the games while being focused and not tiring out at all. And he also broke all his own records. And with the smooth shooting touch, he would get a lot of mid-range shots with success, and as a result would be 41% in 3-pointers, and have an average of 20 points, and prove the one thing that he was complimented the most for, since he was a rookie: rebounds. With his high basketball IQ, he would read where the ball would jump and get it, showing that Kevin Love's style was compared to former partner of Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman. And plus that, had the strength to go against a sumo wrestler who was committed to getting the ball at any rate, so many times that he would bounce around in any way to get the rebound. And just because his stamina problem was resolved, his shooting points and rebounds improved immensely, and suddenly out of nowhere started to break records left and right. And those records would be getting 2 different digit stats called double-doubles, and getting them in 52 games in a row. He would pass former legends and become the best, showing the predicaments of him being an elite big man to be true. He did all of these hard achievements in a short 3 years, making fans of the NBA be completely surprised. And not just that, Love would make the All-Stars and be the rebound leader, and when the season ended, got the Most Improved award as well. And so, being the key player for Minnesota for 3 years, breaking records and running on court, his career would eventually be a complete fail. When it comes to his own records and offense, he would be considered a high-tier power forward because of his explosiveness, but as a big man in the paint zone, his defense, aside from rebounds, was not very good. And because he couldn't defend in important situations, lost many games, in the midst of that, got concussions and other small and big injuries. And as a result, has no experience in entering the playoffs. Feeling quite empty inside, Love started to search for a team that was capable of winning the championship. And just then, things went accordingly, and he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers and played aside superstar LeBron James. And to help LeBron drive the ball with ease, he would spread and open up space. And because of the role being fast and opening up for 3-point shots, he had to focus on his diet and weight and successfully did so. But as a result, that would become Love's poison. He would lose the power he had when it came to physical contact. Becoming a lot thinner, he lost his competitiveness against other big men in the paint zone, which led to reduced offensive options, and even though he trained hard, he was still considered slow. So his already not so great defense became even worse. But fortunately, his specialty since he was in Minnesota, his fast passing ability was still accurate. So, he was a big help to LeBron on offense. As his role in the team decreased, he played in those roles with heart, and as a result, he played for the first time in the playoffs. Cleveland would beat Boston in the first round by 4-0 games, and easily won the second and third round. And finally, the long-awaited finals. Kevin Love had finally made it there, but he was not able to participate in the finals. In fact, in the 4th game of the first round, he had dislocated his shoulder and was sent to the hospital. But in a disastrous situation like this, Cleveland still had LeBron, who led them to the finals, but would be faced with the best in the West, Golden State Warriors, and lose completely. Love would have to watch all of this from a distance. Kevin Love now going for another run for the championship. He showed a drop in confidence due to the first half of the season, but fortunately picked up his rebounds and three-pointers in the last half, and started to find his rhythm again. Love and his teammates wanted to get the chance they had lost 1 year ago, so they played to their fullest. As a result, Cleveland had the highest win rate in the East, and with ambition entered the playoffs again. And with only losing twice in the first, second, and third round of the playoffs, they made the opponents kneel before them, and for 2 times in a row, entered the NBA Finals. And the opponent would be the team they lost the championship to a year ago, the Golden State Warriors, and getting double-doubles throughout the playoffs, Love and the revenge-filled LeBron would enter the 2 away games, but by a 15 and 33-point deficit, lose both games. And plus that, getting hit in the back of the head with an elbow, Love would not be able to play in the 3rd home game. In this emergency situation, LeBron and the other teammates worked hard and won the first game successfully, and Love would return and play in the 4th game. But in that game, the only thing he showed that was considered a great performance was 1 3-point shot he had made, and the opponents made 17 successful 3-point shots made compared to him, and lost completely, and as a result the team was driven to the brink with the series at 3-1. And now being in a situation where if they lose another game it would be all over, and Love would enter the 5th game and give it his all. As a result, his stats were a shot success rate of 20%, 0% in 3-pointers, and only 3 rebounds and 2 points, and the highest number he had was the amount of fouls he had made, which was 4. As a starting member, he was pretty much a distraction, but fortunately, like really fortunately, the team would rain 41 points on them and take the victory with LeBron's explosiveness and live another day. And in the 6th game, LeBron would once again carry the team and get 41 points and lead them into the 7th game. Now, Kevin Love had to show something for the team, but he missed all his 3-pointers, resulting in him being more nervous than ever. But with the mindset of not being a distraction towards his teammates anymore, Love did whatever he could in the paint zone and fought with passion, and as a result got 14 rebounds successfully. And with time running out in the game with a 3-point lead, he would play an important role guarding Stephen Curry and showing great defense. Playing against a much faster opponent, Love played with the mindset of never letting the opponent get another point, and he stuck onto him like gum, and Stephen, being surprised and shook by this, failed on making a signature 3-point shot. And as a result, Cleveland was able to win the championship, and with that tearful act of defense, he was able to be a big help, and Kevin Love finally got the championship title that he had always dreamed for. After the 15-16 season championship, Love's shooting touch had gotten so good as to be compared to when he played in Minnesota in his prime. But his defense was still flawed, and plus that in the 2 times they entered the playoff finals after that, they lost to the Warriors completely. And with his weak body, was always faced with injuries, and to make things worse, he had gained a mental disorder, which was the panic disorder. In fact, in the middle of a game, he had lost his breath and was showing signs of dizziness, and had to leave the court in the middle of a game, and could not attend practices as well. But the problem was that he did not tell his teammates of his panic disorder. Teammates thought he was irresponsible due to that, and without purpose the atmosphere in the team became heavier. And there were times on screen that showed that he did not engage with his teammates at all, and there was some controversy over that. After the 17-18 season had ended, key player LeBron James left Cleveland, leaving Love to fill that role, but was not able to show that kind of performance and was injured and missed 60 games, and as a result, the team was a total mess. With making NBA history in his 3rd year and getting the championship title he had long waited for, he was unable to play a full 82-game season due to his injuries, making him considered to be a band-aid. Not being able to lead a team to victory with his own skills, people believed he was just a show-off player. It's a question whether he will be able to lead his team as a key player and by himself to the playoffs, without the help of LeBron James. That's something to look forward to. Okay, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and I'll be back with better content next time. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe.